You're sitting across from each other at dinner, both scrolling your phones, and neither of you has said a word in 20 minutes. That silence, it didn't start tonight. It started weeks ago with something small you didn't address. And there's a psychological reason you keep letting these moments pile up instead of actually talking about them. Most people think it's about being conflict avoidant, but it's deeper than that. Here's what actually happens. You notice something that bothers you. Maybe they interrupted you again. Maybe they forgot something you mentioned twice. And in that moment, you make a calculation. Is this worth bringing up? You tell yourself it's not a big deal. You'll let it go. But your body doesn't let it go. It files it away. So the next time it happens, you're not reacting to this moment. You're reacting to this moment plus all the other times you didn't say anything. That's why small things suddenly feel massive. That's why "you never listen" comes out when they forgot to pick up milk. You're not overreacting, you're under-communicating. And here's the part that messes people up. You think you're being kind by not bringing it up. You think you're keeping the peace. But what you're actually doing is teaching the other person that everything's fine when it's not. So they keep doing the thing, because why wouldn't they? And you keep getting more frustrated, because of course you are. This is how resentment builds, not through big betrayals, through 1,000 tiny moments you convinced yourself didn't matter. And the tragedy is, most of those moments were fixable if you just said something when it was still small. Now here's the part most people miss. The reason you don't speak up isn't always fear of conflict. Sometimes it's because you don't know how to say it without sounding critical, so you wait for the right time. But the right time never comes, because the longer you wait, the bigger it feels. And now you can't bring it up without it sounding like an accusation. Here's what healthy communication actually looks like. You say it early, you say it calm, you say it specific. Not, "you never help around the house," but, "hey, I'd really appreciate it if you could handle the dishes tonight. I'm feeling stretched thin." You're not attacking their character, you're naming a need. And if they get defensive, that's information too. Because a partner who cares will ask what you need. A partner who doesn't want to grow will make you the problem for bringing it up. Pay attention to how people respond when you're vulnerable. It tells you everything. The healthiest relationships aren't the ones without friction. They're the ones where both people would rather have an awkward conversation than let something fester. Where "can we talk about something" isn't a threat. It's just Tuesday. You can't love someone well if you're quietly keeping score, and you can't expect them to read your mind and call it intimacy. Real closeness happens when you trust each other enough to say the uncomfortable thing. Not perfectly, just honestly. What's one thing you've been avoiding saying in your relationship? Drop it in the comments. Sometimes naming it is the first step. And if this hit, share it with someone who needs the reminder.